Well guys, today this video has been requested a couple times. I'm going to show you what I bring in my bag right here fishing when I go just on a quick easy bank fishing trip or just to help the beginners get into fishing. So let's jump right into it. First thing we're going to start with is soft plastics. So as you can see here, I got some Guggen crawdads, two different crawdads right here, or the bandito bug and the crawdad. Those two, I use those all the time. But I also have in here another box of different randomness kind of soft plastics, and we have two more boxes of soft plastics right here. As you can see, I have everything in here, some crawdads, some flickers, and some of these just in different colors. Like this one's orange, this one's a pumpkin, this one's just red. And then we get into the hooks in this one, some other hooks for different things, and then obviously the nice big worms for wacky rig, Texas rig, or just even throwing those on a spinnerbait or a chatterbait. So in this first box that we have right here, I have a bunch of just different lipless crankbaits, some flicker shads in here, some bigger flicker shads for walleyes, because I don't only just bass fish, I do like to walleye, pike, and pretty much panfish too. So a lot of the stuff in here is not only is it just for bass, but it's also for walleyes, panfish, and just anything else that I can just catch that day, because I just like catching fish. But so now we also have, and this is the second box, so here's one, here's two, and here's three. I carry all three of these in there. They would fit just perfect. Two whopper ploppers, I love those things. A couple more whopper ploppers, and then we have some more lipless crankbaits, some more flicker shads, just two pieces, a couple different ones, like this one, that's a crawfish, and then another lipless crankbait. And so now on to the third box, we have this giant shad. I love throwing this thing. When you see a pike, dude, that you throw that thing, pike love that thing. But we got more flicker shads, some more lipless crankbaits, and some just little walleye or pike two-piece little swim jig thingies. So now we're jumping into some of my favorite stuff that I have in my bag, and trust me, I bring these two boxes everywhere I go because I just love throwing these two things. But I keep them in smaller, like ice fishing little tackle boxes, because it's easier to carry around, and you don't have to, and you can literally just carry it in your hands, because I use these two boxes all the time. So the first box, we have our frogs, a jerkbait, and a ripstop. And let me tell you, springtime, this ripstop, absolute killer. But these frogs are some of my favorite things to throw, and so is this jerkbait. But then the second box is just all jerkbaits, all different kinds, some flashy ones, some subtle ones. It doesn't really matter. I throw these things for pike, for bass, sometimes even walleye hit them, but pike and bass absolutely crush these two boxes. And now we're getting into the good old chatterbait and the good old spinning bait, because this box, let me tell you, this box, if you have spinning baits or chatterbaits, you need this box. This thing right here, let me tell you, all these spinning baits right here, just like this, don't even have to worry about them getting hooked on each other. They're great. And obviously my chatterbait right here, I also just hook it in there, nice, easy, don't even have to worry about it. But this box is only spinnerbaits and a couple chatterbaits, but I always have this in my bag too, because you never know when you're gonna need them. Then, like I said before, I also love fishing for panfish and crappie, so I always have to have a couple panfish jigs in my bag at all times, which right on the front is a little pocket on my bag, and that's where I keep all my panfish stuff, so I know where it is right away. but here are my like top 2 that I use all the time for going after panfish, especially crappie. So I use these mini mites right here, these little flicker tail paddle jigs. Those things are an absolute killer. And then obviously the hair jigs, which I have in 2 different styles here, but I use those all the time. And then the one thing that I use also all the time that I keep in that same pocket is these big swim paddle tail jigs. And I use these for walleye. Walleye absolutely love these things. More than just the pink, you can get the white too to make it look like a shad or something, but they absolutely crush those things, and I always keep 1 pack of those in my bag too. But now we're moving on to my favorite pike box. When I go pike fishing, this is the only box I take, because this is the only box you'll need. You'll only need these things that are in it if you want to go catch some absolute monster pike. Starting off pretty light, I keep a couple snap swivels in my bag just to make it easier for me. And also you need a couple leaders because you don't want to be breaking off with these things. But I keep these absolute massive like jerk bag kind of swim baits in there. And my absolute favorite thing to throw for these things is this trout colored spoon. Pike absolutely crushed this thing. And then I also have a paddle tail swim jig in here, and they absolutely love this thing too. Took this thing to Canada, caught a couple absolute monster, probably 42s with that. But let me tell you, the spoon right here, absolute killer for pike. And then the last thing that I have in my bag is 3 accessories that I always have in there, just in case I ever need them. You don't know when you're gonna need them, but these 3 things you will need at some point. And so let's hop right into it. The first one is a set of needle nose pliers. These things you will need because you will need to eventually cut your line at some point, which is good for this, but also getting hooks out. This thing is extremely handy. The second accessory that is always in my bag is a little line, just in case I'm keeping fish. You never know, you just all of a sudden, spur of the moment, want to keep fish. So I keep this stringer in my bag at all times. Nice and long, so if I'm like fishing kind of high up, I can throw it down and it's still going to be in the water and the fish are going to be absolutely fine. But for the third thing, like I said, I love pike fishing, and sometimes those hooks get really deep in their throats and you can't get it out. And so having a pair of splitters in your bag is something you need, just in case those hooks get deep and you don't want to worry about sticking your hand in there and then clenching them teeth down on your hand. So keeping the splitters in there, you never know when you're gonna need it. Trust me, you will need it at some time, and it's always good just to have in your bag because it doesn't take up a lot of space. You can just put it right in the side pocket and not even have to worry about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That is everything I have right there in my bag at all times, and I hope this helped you guys.